All right, I'm back again. I was just about to take it down, and then this article, or actually, I got a news report on YouTube right here. But I'm going to check this article, which seems to be in a local Minnesota newspaper. I usually try to go for that type of stuff instead of the mainstream stuff. Okay, so apparently, another protester has been shot in the leg trying to attack an ICE agent with a shovel. Okay, so we can see that these people do not learn very quickly. Minneapolis, a second shooting by a federal officer took place in Minnesota on Wednesday. A federal officer shot a man in the leg in Minneapolis after being attacked with a shovel and a broom handle, further heightening the sense of fear and anger radiating across the city a week after an immigration agent fatally shot a woman in the head. Smoke filled the streets Wednesday night near the site of the latest shooting as federal officers wearing gas mask and helmet fired tear gas and grenades into a small crowd while protesters threw rocks and shot fireworks. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said during a news conference that the gathering was an unlawful assembly and people need to leave. That's what I was kind of saying too in my last video. Such protest scenes have become common on the streets of Minneapolis since a federal agent fatally shot Renee Good on January 7th amid a massive immigration crackdown that has seen thousands of officers sent into the Twin Cities. About 3,000 right now, or at least that's what our last reports were. Agents have yanked people from cars and homes and have been confronted by angry bystanders who are demanding that officers pack up and leave. Yeah, all right, we already know that. It's 5 times as big as the city's 600 officer police force and has invaded the city, scaring and angering residents, some of whom want the officers to fight ICE agents. At the same time, the police force is still responsible for their day-to-day work and to keep the public safe. Yeah, see, they need to be catching real criminals and stuff, and you guys are just jamming up the works. Like this, I mean, I'm not going to give that idea, but there's certain times when certain things happen, and usually it's when people are distracted by other stupid BS like this. So, again, what I said in the last video, do not approach ICE agents when they are in the middle of an arrest. They're not playing games right now. They have a mandate from the federal government, which, yes, states have rights, but the federal government also has rights too. And one of those rights is the monitoring of who comes into and leaves the country. And so, therefore, they are justified to be there. It sucks. You know, it would be better if we could fix Somalia, or, Somalians came here through the normal immigration system. That would work too. But attacking an ICE officer who has a gun, who you know he has a gun, and you just saw one of them shoot somebody a week ago, but you're gonna attack him with a shovel and a broom handle. It seems like you're just asking for it. That's what it seems like to me at this point. You're just asking for it. I mean, what are you really doing with a shovel and a broom handle, bro? No, it sucks. If you really wanted to help the immigrants, probably if I were to give a suggestion to help the undocumented immigrants that are being arrested, I would go to wherever they're detaining them and then make sure that they have like food and water and stuff like that. Because for some reason, I just don't think that they're being mistreated that badly. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. And these ICE agents could be, arresting these guys, beating the crap out of them in cells and depriving them of food and water and all that stuff. I don't know. They're not showing the detention centers for sure. They're not. And then they're not showing how they're being deported back to their country. And that's more information that I think would be more pertinent to people than attacking a police officer on the street while he's just doing his job. Because these guys are under orders. That's what they do. They don't make up the orders. They don't, debate the orders. Their job is to follow the orders. And so attacking the order followers, while convenient, is part of the system. It's part of the system that they give these people orders and they're the order followers. The people that you need to change the minds of, change the disposition of, are the people that are giving the orders, not the order followers. And that's how the order givers, avoid any type of prosecution, any type of retribution, or any type of resistance, because they're not there. They're giving orders from a distance, and these officers are basically just as innocent as the people that are being arrested and the protesters. You're all just there playing your role, doing your job. The protesters, you've been sent here to agitate the ICE agents. The ICE agents have been sent here by someone else to arrest the immigrants. Right? And then you and an ICE agent have a confrontation on the street, and the ICE agent is forced to defend himself from someone attacking him with a broom. Was he just going to stand there and let you hit him with the broom? No sane human being is going to do that. Is just going to stand there while you attack them, regardless of their job, what they're doing, what they're on their way to doing, what they're on their way from doing. You attack someone with let's take away the whole ICE agent thing. You attack someone with a broom and a shovel, and they are allowed to defend themselves to the fullest extent. Period. Now, if you said you were filming him from across the street while he was arresting someone, and maybe even saying, "Hey, I'm filming you, I don't like what you're doing," and then he pulled out a gun and shot you in the leg, then I would be 100% on your side. But when you attack someone with a shovel, I can't be on your side anymore. And I mean, unless you see them actually like beating the crap out of some immigrant, which I don't see that happening, because why isn't it on film? You guys are out there filming 24/7. Show me some footage of some of these guys actually abusing an immigrant. Because you guys are right there. You're standing next to them. You're hovering over them, getting them nervous and all that stuff. Show me some footage of them like beating up an immigrant, like dragging like a Somali guy out of his house that's not resisting arrest, and then them doing like a Rodney King on him. Because it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. Seems like they're being taken to detention centers, which are basically similar to like a U.S. jail, where they're put in cells, given like minimal food and like a small blanket, a small mattress, something like that. And then there's being arrangements set up to send them on planes or boats or however they're sending them to their country. I mean, it would be nice if they gave us this information, but obviously they do operational security. They're the military. They don't want to tell you every single thing they're doing, because it just gives you an opportunity to stop them from doing what they're doing, basically. So like I'm saying, the protests are really misguided, extremely misguided, because these agents are just people that chose this job as their profession to get paid so they can feed their family, feed themselves, right? And they've been told that you might not agree, you protesters might not agree with them, but they've been told by the federal government that what they're doing is legal and lawful, and they believe it. And so attacking them with shovels and all this other stuff is not the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is either convincing the people that are in charge that deporting these immigrants is not a benefit to them, and you have to be able to prove that it's not a benefit to them. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't seem like it's a benefit. I haven't researched too deeply into this whole Somali scam thing myself personally, but it seems as if there's at least public consideration that this is happening, that there's some type of welfare scams, home healthcare scams, and all this other stuff. And I don't put it past that this would happen. I mean, we saw some of the scams that were going on with the whole Doge exposure, even though that was like very small scale. You know, there's a lot of scams out there. And so if that's what's going on and these people are here illegally, then these agents are at least justified to detain them. You know, maybe deportation isn't always the solution. Maybe, I mean, if the person's like a serious community member and they're actually a benefit, they can actually prove that they're a benefit to the community. But I mean, if they're doing a scam, I'm sorry, you know, send them back home, I guess. You know, I don't, like, look, I'm just covering this stuff. I'm just covering this news because it just popped up in my thing. And it's like, I don't want to go like full right wing and just say like deport them all and put on a there's no vacancy here t-shirt and stuff. But it's getting to the point where it's like, what are you guys doing, man? You're attacking these guys with shovels. Like, no, I don't want to say that either. But yeah, okay. Like, it's just not. Let me just play this real quick with the sound off. But to me, it's just not the solution. I mean, you might think it's a solution, but it's all, think about it, right? They get attacked, and then what happens? They send 1,000 more of these guys to your state. They don't say, oh, whoops, we shot a lady. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to do that. I guess we should now reevaluate our entire immigration stance that we ran on, and that all the constituents that voted for us are demanding daily, hourly on all social media. Yeah, we'll just spin that back. No, they're not. They're going to send more. And then the more you do this, they're just going to send 1,000 more, and then another 1,000. And unless you're in bed with gun manufacturers and frickin' Israeli military agencies, like, bruh, get the F out of here. You're just giving them more reason and more license to crack down on all of us. All right. I'm sorry. This is We Todd Ed. Come on, man. All right. You're going to attack a guy with a broom. All right. Okay. All right. So that's the video for now. Thanks for watching if you did. Have a good day and peace.